It's an honor to be with you in this season as the Free Methodist Church, this Free Methodist family. I'm honored to be a part of the family, and I'm excited that we are praying together to press in, to storm the throne of grace for all the Father has for us. May we be a people who have been captured by the love of God, pressing in for all that the Father has. After all, Jesus didn't promise that we'd have the partial life. He said we would have the abundant life. And so may God awaken his church, and may that awakening begin with us. You know, sons and daughters of God, there are two crossings in the Old Testament, the Red Sea crossing and the Jordan River crossing, and they are reflective of a kind of type, if you will, of our Christian life experience. The Red Sea deliverance is analogous to our salvation experience, if you will, in the Jordan River, to the crossing, to the life of the believer who presses in for all that God has. And so in the Red Sea experience, you see this travesty of bondage that Israel has been in, and they have been delivered by the miraculous intervention of God. And they get released, and they are pursuing the hope of the Promised Land. And they are being pursued by an enemy, and they end up at a Red Sea, which is a major obstacle, and behind them is the Egyptian army. And so they are being pursued by the enemy. There's an obstacle right there in front of them. Israel is trying to move forward to a promise, but they can't get there because of this obstacle. The only option is deliverance, and God delivers. And thank God he's done that for us in and through Jesus. The Jordan River is Israel coming out of the wilderness, and they're moving into the promise. And now they've got to cross another body of water, the Jordan River. And they're commanded to follow the priests and the Ark of the Covenant, which I think is significant. And as they're moving towards that, it strikes me that no longer is Israel technically being pursued by an enemy. They're pursuing their enemy and the promise of all that God has for them. And so God parts the waters. They go through in obedience. And as you know, in the study of the book of Joshua, they don't fully do everything God had commanded them to do. I suspect that a lot of us in this day and age as Christians are pursuing the promise, and we might cross the Jordan River. Thank God he saved us and delivered us through the Red Sea, and he's crushed our enemy Satan, and he's given us the victory in and through Jesus. But then as we cross the Jordan, it's incredibly tempting to get on the other side of the banks and stop. And it's comfortable, you're saved, you're going to go to heaven, but you no longer press in. The urgency, the passion sort of begins to wane, and we become nice Christians. I hope we're nice, but we lose the fire of God and the passion that we once had, and it's a good life, and you're going to end up in heaven, but the impact of the kingdom is now minimized massively. The two crossings tell us this: the trial is the trail, the problem is the pathway, the obstacle is the stepping stone to your God-given destiny. The trial is the trail, the problem is the pathway, the obstacle is the stepping stone to your God-given destiny. In order for us to be a people of passion who are pressing in, we must first be awakened and empowered. Awaken. May God awaken me. May he begin with me. Joshua 1:8-9 says, "This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. And then you'll have success, and you'll prosper. Have I not commanded you," he says in verse 9, "be strong and be courageous." Come on, Free Methodist Church, be strong and courageous. Do not tremble or be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. I do feel in my spirit his hand is settling upon our family. There's favor and blessing if we would begin to press in and cross the Jordan and go all the way in for all that God has. The wise sage Yoda says, do or do not. There is no try. To love like Jesus, to live like Jesus, and to lead like Jesus. We do this best when we live in his presence, in his word, and we do what he asks, which is a practice of daily surrender. Sons and daughters of God, seek not to be right, seek to be righteous. You can be right and not righteous. I close with this. Ezekiel 3:10. "Son of man, let all my words sink deep into your own heart first. Listen to them carefully for yourself, Then go to your people in exile and say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Do this whether they listen to you or not. The key to the empowering life is found in Matthew 5:3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. The key that unlocks the door to the kingdom store where all of our resources are is a poverty of spirit, a desperation that comes to the Father every day and says, Jesus, I'm poor in spirit. I need you. I need you to fill me. I hope and pray that we are a people that don't cross the finish line of life coasting or groaning in desperation, but we cross the finish line of life like an Olympic athlete straining in victory, because we have received victory. The victory we're going after is not earned, it's inherited. Thank you, Jesus, for the victory you've given. May you awaken your church.